Today is Thursday, March 17, 2022. I'm Pastor Michael, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Our text is from Luke 21. But before all this, they will seize you and persecute you. They will hand you over to synagogues and put you in prison, and you will be brought before kings and governors, all on account of my name. And so you will bear testimony to me. But make up your mind not to worry beforehand how you will defend yourselves. For I will give you words and wisdom that none of your adversaries will be able to resist or contradict. You will be betrayed even by parents, brothers and sisters, relatives and friends, and they will put some of you to death. Everyone will hate you because of me, but not a hair of your head will perish. Stand firm, and you will win life. Verses 12 through 19. The prosperity gospel is the belief that financial blessing and physical well-being are always the will of God for us, and that faith, positive speech, and donations to religious causes will increase one's material wealth. That's according to Wikipedia. It's a reasonable definition of what is sometimes called the health and wealth gospel. Many of us have been sucked in by this teaching. Maybe not so much the second part about making donations to increase our wealth, but the business about being successful financially and physically has snuck into what we Christians believe. Earlier this week, a friend from years ago mentioned she was glad God had brought me to Emmanuel. Why did she say that? Because I had told her that things were going well here for me. Do you get the connection? My sense of well-being meant I had followed God's leading. I wonder if she would have dared voice the opposite, that if things were not going well, I had obviously missed God's direction. Probably not. But do you see the connection drawn between well-being and God's blessing? That is the heart to the prosperity gospel. In our text, Jesus puts the lie to this understanding of God. Walking with God does not equal success as the world sees it. We need to be very careful about this in our personal lives, in our church life, and Christian parachurch organizations, and even in our places of work and business. When things do not go well, it does not mean that we have sinned or missed God's direction. It might be that, but it should not be our go-to conclusion. Jesus clearly tells his disciples that following him will include persecution and hardship. Not for everyone, of course, but when it happens, there should be no surprise. We have been forewarned. Following Jesus creates opposition. It will even come from those closest to us, from family and friends. Beyond telling us to expect it, Jesus tells us not to worry about ourselves when it happens. Many Christians have told me of their hope not to be persecuted because they are not sure their faith can handle it. They won't know what to say. That's when I get to point to a text like this and assure them that Jesus will give them words to speak. Sometimes the most effective witnessing takes place exactly when our faith is in the crucible of persecution. In such moments, faith is seen as a central aspect of our lives. Jesus will give us words that our adversaries will be unable to resist or contradict. Still, they may kill us. Do you find it rather odd that Jesus says, "Not a hair on any believer's head will perish," in the same sentence he tells us we might be killed for our faith? So much for the prosperity gospel. Jesus is challenging us to get our heads out of the sand, not to be concerned only with this phase of life. After death, there is more life to be lived. And if we stand with Jesus in this present age, God will welcome us into the next. There is no way we will be harmed ultimately. That is why we can face suffering in the short term. God will protect his disciples. To stand with Jesus is to have salvation. What does it mean to stand? It means that we claim him as our Lord. And it means we live this life according to his direction. Belonging to Jesus includes being willing to endure suffering as he endured it during his life and death. It includes choosing to do good to our enemies as he did. As you journey on, go with the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. May he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.